the first for local news.
Good afternoon, welcome to Herald Radio. This is Matt the Good Time Baker with you. For the next hour, we'll be handing over to Toby Ellis for the Drive Time show. And we are very lucky because we have a lovely Phyllis Oostermeijer in the building. Hello, Mother.
Hello, Matt.
How are you?
Very warm.
It is warm in here. It's very, very warm. I'm going to lose a few more pounds by sitting in here each and every day. Well, it's great to have you back on the radio there, Mother. We're going to have another poem for you. So this is Poets Corner. And again, folks, if you want to get involved, you can send poems if you've written any poems, and we'll be gladly to put them here on the radio for you each and every week. But right now, we are going now to Phyllis Oostermeijer for the poem for this Friday, which is the 25th today?
6th.
26th. Yes, the 26th of Friday. Here we are. It's over to you, Mother.
Thank you. Well, this afternoon I'm going to bring a little bit of Joyce Grenville to you. I'm very fond of Joyce Grenville. She was a wonderful performer. And she would come on stage and she would take a prop, similar to what I have in my hand. I know those who are listening, they can't see it, but I have a funny hat. And I'm going to put it on. And once I put the hat on, I become Mrs. Moss. And today I'm going to bring you to Mrs. Moss's cottage. And she's there with her friend, Mrs. Ingstone. And she is a terrible worrier. There he is, Mrs. Ingstone. That's his car. I'd know it anywhere. Oh, it is good of him to come round so soon. Will you let him in? I know it's my cottage, but you're near the door, and I feel funny. Oh, there you are, Mr. Moulder. Do come in. You know Mrs. Ingstone. I was just telling her it is good of you to come round so soon. Now, where will you sit? Will you sit on the settee? I think it's nice for a big man. Oh, don't sit on Kipper. You silly old pussycat. Go and sit up on the windowsill. He likes to sit on the windowsill and purr through the geraniums. Mr. Moulder, I've been so worried. I was telling Mrs. Ingstone. The thing is, I've done a wrong thing. Well, we don't know how wrong yet. It could be criminal. I know you've got to get back to your lawyer's office, so I'll tell you right away. The other evening, I was sitting in here when some people came round selling tickets for a raffle, and I took 2. No sooner did I have them in my hand, I realised I'd done a wrong thing. Oh, that's not the wrong thing I've done. Oh dear, I've done 2. Well, a raffle is gambling, isn't it? And I don't like the idea of gambling. Oh, I don't mind a game of hoopla at the garden fete and that, but I mean a raffle is proper gambling. But oh, the prizes were lovely. First prize was a cruise for 2 to Madeira, there and back. And the second prize was a cocktail cabinet full of beautiful crystal goblets. And there were littler prizes, a brace of pheasants and a rabbit, and boxes of this and that, and all for 10 new p. I told Mrs. Ingstone the next day, and she said, mind you win that cruise for 2 and I'll go with you. We had a good laugh. But then I started to worry. Well, I mightn't win, mightn't I? No, I would not like to go on a cruise. Well, a cruise is on the sea, isn't it? Oh, I don't mind looking at it from the side, but I wouldn't want to be on it. Well, there might be a storm. Would there be enough life jackets to go around? And would they expect me to undress at night? And what am I supposed to do with my dentures? Oh, I did worry. And then I worried about this cottage. Well, it's a council cottage, you know, and they might think if she can afford to go on a cruise, I mean, they wouldn't know I hadn't paid for it. They might put up the rent or the rates. You don't know where you are with them these days. I won't be voting for them next time, no matter who they are. Well, the day came for the bazaar where they were going to hold the raffle. And I asked Mrs. Ingstone to come with me, but you couldn't, could you? She was going to a lecture at the Women's Institute with her daughter on hormones. Hormones. You didn't like it, did you? Well, they're not nice, are they, hormones? But do you know we're all supposed to have them? I don't think I've got any. Well, I get to the town hall, and that Mrs. Apple Crombie, or whatever she calls herself, that nice little lady with the short legs, goes to St. Luke's. She spots me, and she says, "Oh, it's one of our old age pensioners from the club. Do let her in half price." Well, you don't mind the half price, do you? But you don't like the attention being drawn. Still, I got a nice seat up by the front where I could see it all going on. And this lady came on to put the tickets in a big container, and she mixed them all up with her hand. I thought to myself, get on with it. She put in her hand and made her selection. First prize, a cruise for two to Madeira, Miss Lady Clutton Taylor. Lady Clutton Taylor, she can afford to go on a cruise any day of the week. Nobody much clapped. I was disappointed and relieved at one and the same time, and I was just bending down to pick myself up when I heard my name called. Mrs. Moss, 2 Alma Cottages, Bull Lane, a lovely rabbit. Well, I looked up on the platform, and there was a woman standing there with a rabbit in her hand, dead, but still in its fur. Oh, I thought to myself, I'm not going to be bothered with that, so I'll just sit here numb. When that Mrs. Abercrombie, "Well done, Mrs. Moss, you've won a lovely rabbit." Well, I had to take myself up from the body of the hall onto the platform to receive the said rabbit. And as I'd done so, I could see it had still got its eyes open. No, I did not want a rabbit. Well, you have to do things to a rabbit. No, I've never done a rabbit, but mark you, I've seen many a rabbit done. My mother must have done 12 a year if she did a dozen. And you'd be amazed what goes on under all that fur. Well, I'm on the bus now, and I'm worrying all the time, what am I going to do with this blessed rabbit? I couldn't leave it on the bus, because some nosy Parker would come up and say, "Oh, you left your rabbit on the bus." And I couldn't put it in my dustbin, because they'd emptied it that day, and you know what they are, once a week if that. Well, I'm off the bus now, and I'm walking up Queen's Hill. And I see a little red car, parked like, up against the curb. And its window is open, about 6 inches. And before I realised what I'd done, I'd posted that rabbit. And as I'd done so, a young man is coming down the hill. "Good evening," he says to me. "Good evening," I say back, so I know he's seen me do it. I tried the door, locked. Couldn't get me rabbit back. I went off home. I didn't sleep a wink all night. I got up at first light, back to where the car was, gone. Mr. Mulder, that's the wrong thing I've done. And I want to know, is it an abuse of personal, private property? And can anyone inform against? You don't think so? But are you sure? Oh, that's a good thing then. You won't have to come and visit me in Dartmoor. No, Mr. Mulder, don't get up. I'll go and put the kettle on and make a nice cup of tea. Come on, Kipper. He's an old boy now and he likes to go out quite often. Come on, Kipper, come on. Thank you very much.
Yes, beautiful. Well done then, Mother. That was a really nice poem.